This is me in 2009 when I first became director of the Museum of Contemporary Art in Denver. And I definitely wanted to show that I had authority. Before that, I directed an alternative space called the Lab at Belmar, where we did gags like this one, sacks of rubble, free to new members. We also had this lecture series, which was really popular, we called Mixed Taste, where we paired completely unrelated lectures in the same night, like this one, Tequila and Dark Energy in the Universe. Now this was actually like, we did serious exhibitions. Oh, I've got to put my passcode in. We did serious exhibitions as well, but none of it prepared me to be the director of the Museum of Contemporary Art. I went from class clown to class president. Too early, I know. But I was trying hard to prove I was serious. I did exhibitions at first. My first one was this one by Barnaby Furness, which was beautiful, but didn't involve a lot of risk. I actually had to learn how to make myself vulnerable in what I did at the museum. Like when I showed this work by an unknown artist, but it looks a lot like Kazimir Malevich, the Russian master. It's not. It's an unauthenticated painting that was found on eBay, along with 180 other works that a guy in Denver bought. If this was authentic work, it would cost maybe $60 million. He spent about a couple of $100s on these. But I loved these paintings. And even though it undermined the very authority of an art museum, I exhibited them to ask the question, like, what is authenticity? And that was starting to put the museum, make the museum more vulnerable. But maybe even show a sense of play. But I want to say that I myself still wanted to maintain a lot of control, as you can maybe see. Things changed a little bit when I started to work with this guy, Mark Mothersbaugh, whose art was so playful, but so was the way he lived his life. And he had gags all the time. Like when we went to have these works cast in Mexico, he played this gag on me on the flight on the way home. He went in and secretly got my passport and put googly eyes, like where mine are, to play a gag on customs, which they love. So I learned really from him much more how to release something even further, which is why when he donated this work to our gala auction, I said that if it's sold for $20,000, I will be slimed myself. And so there I was in front of like 500 of the top patrons of art. I stripped down into a leopard print bodysuit being slimed. But the real test actually came, oh, by the way, this was the headline of the Denver Post when I did this, because, you know, it's a thing. So the real test, though, came for me when my, yeah, thanks. When my dumbass friends posted a picture of me skinny dipping with my friends in the mountains, and I was like, wait, should I be mad? Like, no, of course I shouldn't be mad. Like, I'm even showing it to you now. Because this was this symbolic moment where I realized that it's okay to bare yourself in front of the world. It's okay to actually not worry so much about what people think and not try to hold on to that authority. So I try to teach my staff that the question is to know how and when to be unprofessional. Because when you're unprofessional, that's when you're able to connect to people in a more human way. That's when you're able to connect to what you do in a more human way, and as well as connect to your visitors in that way. Which is why we do programs like Folked Up Karaoke. I feel proud that we're going to have Triple Xmas Craft Fair coming up soon at the museum. Like, my social media person says she's unprofessional every day. And I said, that's exactly the kind of museum I want to run. Like, I want to be a role model for how to be professionally unprofessional. Thanks.